Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first official episode of She Who Remembers. Thank you so much for being here. Today is going to be all about observing. I want to remind you all of the mission statement here. It is to help you remember and to help heal as one in the community. So, we're going to start with observing because I'm going to layer the teachings week after week in order for you to integrate in a way that your nervous system can handle. When you're doing deep spiritual work or trying to remember your purpose or trying to remember past lives, anything of that nature, even trying to know yourself better, it is important to start small. It's important to start in a very particular way, because if you try to rush the process, if you try to skip steps, if you try to jump ahead, your life could start getting really chaotic. Really intense things can start happening, and we just want to do this properly and with care, and we want to do this the right way. So with that, I will say a little disclosure that healing is not linear. This is not a one-size-fits-all, and I'm also not here to heal you. You have to heal yourself. You have to show up and want to do the work, and you have to have an open mind with all these different teachings and practices. This is so that you don't need to rely on me. You don't need to rely on a guru, a coach, a doctor, anybody. You know yourself, you teach yourself, and then you're able to operate in the world as such. This then gives you the foundation to be able to understand what's going on in your life, process and transmute energy, to know what's good or bad for you when you're making a decision. Is it a full body yes or is it just a no? There will be no confusion anymore because you'll know exactly why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing, who you're supposed to be surrounding yourself with, and so on. Life just gets a lot easier when you start to learn and understand these things. So with that being said, this morning I was called to slow dance with my spirit guide, my main spirit guide. And so I turn on my music and I close my eyes and I just start slow dancing with him. And I just lost it, bawling my eyes out, crying, because I just miss him and I miss my family on the other side and I miss home. And so this is a beautiful reminder that we're in Earth School. We are here to learn. We are here to go through the hard things. That's why we all chose to reincarnate here on Earth. And we're all a part of the Great Awakening in order to help not only awaken ourselves, but help awaken others by showing up in your full embodiment. And so if you think me dancing with my spirit guide sounds crazy, but you have an open mind, then you're in the right place. And if you just get it, then you're definitely in the right place. So with that being said, we'll start with observing. What does it mean and why are we doing it? So essentially, it's really beautiful to get to know your own center, your own self, your own field when you approach life from a space of observing what is happening around you and then how you are reacting to it. So, some examples. If you are driving down the highway or down the road and somebody cuts you off or they're tailgating you, how do you react? Observe it. Don't have to come up with solutions. You don't need to journal the answer. You just need to observe. That made me angry in that moment. That made my heart beat a little bit faster. How did you feel? Okay, and just observe. If you're waiting in line at the store, the grocery store, wherever, do you feel uncomfortable? Do you then reach for your phone for a distraction? Observe that. Are you trying to distract yourself? Are you running from something? Are you uncomfortable just being in your energy field, in your presence, waiting in line, doing nothing? Another example, when you're at work and you're doing your job, are you feeling happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you feeling like you're making a difference? Are you waking up every day excited? And I really want you to kind of take this to the deepest level that you possibly can. Meaning, throughout the day, recognize people or things that pop into your mind and just be. Are you thinking about a parent? Are you thinking about an ex? Are you thinking about a situation that you just keep ruminating on that you can't let go of? And just really understand, like, that's interesting, and just view it. Again, like, don't go in an AI rabbit hole of like, oh, I've seen this and now what does this mean? Or don't try to like come up with the solutions or the answers. And I think sometimes that can be the most challenging part of just observing your life is like, as humans, we want a quick fix. We want an answer. We want something tangible that makes sense as to why we're feeling how we're feeling and then how to make it better. But that's the whole point of this practice. It is a devotion. It is like a walking mindful practice, almost a walking meditation, if you will, to just view life as it's happening. And really, this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. And so some people may find this easier than others. And that's also really nice to recognize, like, am I finding this practice challenging? Is this really hard for me to just observe my life without trying to fix, without trying to control? And so a really nice way to reframe this, if this is like not really digesting for you, is to view your life as a simulation, and you zoom out and you're like, okay, I have this character. I'm going to dress this character up, and this little, avatar is going to go out into the world, and it's going to engage with people, and it's going to, drive its little car and go to the store and do all of its little things. And you almost get to view life from this perspective of like, this is happening, but I'm viewing it from the outside, in a sense. So that person calls you. Okay, how is your avatar reacting to that person calling you? You hang out with a specific person. Okay, how did I feel once I left that engagement? Was I full, like cup full? Was I feeling a little bit empty? Was I feeling drained? Okay, I notice that, I recognize that, and I continue on. And so this is the only assignment I have for you this week. I don't even want you to like journal about it. I don't even want you to try and make sense of it, because then that's now giving you an assignment that makes you feel like you have a chore. No chores, no work, just this is the practice. This is the start, the fundamental seed that you're planting to begin to understand yourself, to understand what are the things that you need to work on. What is coming up for me that then, as we layer on, week by week, it'll be a new lesson, a new lesson, a new lesson, and it will compound and it will start to make sense because you'll have this answer. You can't get this answer without understanding this first. And this will all make sense as we practice week after week after week after week. Because now you're doing this in a way where you're giving yourself the grace, you're giving yourself the patience to really, truly understand the root of what is coming up for you and why. Is it connected to childhood? Is it connected to something that just triggered you a week ago? And again, like I said, we're teaching for the collective here, and it's so beautiful. And so this practice applies to all. Everybody should know and understand how they're feeling and why. And it is so crazy that we're in a world today that you are getting inundated with so much information from social media to other podcasts, to friends telling you things to do, from family telling you things to do, that it becomes very challenging for you to think for yourself because you have all of these answers getting thrown at you from everybody and their mother. Whereas like all of the answers really lie within you. You don't need any of these outside sources. You already know what's best. You just have a hard time getting to that answer because you're not connected to yourself right now. And I don't want that to make you shut down. It's not an issue. It's okay. Most people are walking around just like in the ethers, and it's fine. But that's why we're just going to come back to center, root down, really work on our nervous systems, and really gain this fundamental understanding of why and what and how. And so I'm very, very excited to share these practices with you, because these are the tools and resources that you need in order to grow into your best self and have this dream life and be like a beautiful member of your community and help inspire other people. So I want to thank you all for being here. I'm very excited for you all to do this work this week. Write in on the comments where you're coming from and who you are so that we can get to know each other. As the week progresses, feel free to come back to the comment section and write some experiences that have been coming up for you. And just know, like, pay attention to the chatter in your mind. Pay attention to if this practice is a challenge for you. And then pay attention to all the little details of everything that comes from observing your life. And I really want to just hone in on the fact of, like, you can take this as deep as you want, or you can take this as surface level as you want. So if it is the big things where you're like someone just knocked on my door because they're delivering an Amazon package and I just freaked out. Like, okay, like, I'm realizing maybe that makes me feel unsafe when somebody's like at my door. I notice that, I recognize that. Or you can take it as deep as, like, I'm in the shower and I feel every single drop of water touching my body, and I can feel my feet planted on the shower floor and every single toe really gripping into the ground, and I feel all of my emotions just releasing. Like, you can literally go down to the finite details of, like, observing at this crazy micro level, or you can take it to the macro. So I will let that sit with all of you. Do what resonates. Some days will be different than others, and that's another thing to recognize. It's like, one day you'll notice I'm feeling very, like, into this and it's easier and I'm energetic and it's flowing, and the next day it might be like, this is really freaking challenging. I can't even sit here and observe. I'm like lost and confused. And then observing how that makes you feel. Are you agitated because of it? Or are you at peace with it? And so don't try to control anything. Just, if you have this one little mantra that you can say to yourself over and over as you're doing this week: I am not here to control. I am not here to control. I am here to surrender. That's it. I am not here to control. I am here to surrender. Breathe. A longer exhale than an inhale. And then continue on. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time, for listening to this podcast, for supporting House of Antonia, and we will see you again next week.